Workday groups workers and transactions using business units, work tags, and custom organizations. Each serves a distinct purpose. Understanding these differences clarifies what you can do as a business user. In this video, you'll learn the difference between custom organizations, business units, and custom work tags. View a custom organization in its key components and use custom organizations as work tags in transactions. Business users work with custom organizations, business units, and work tags every day in Workday. For example, when submitting expenses, entering time, or creating purchase orders. Understanding each concept helps transactions process correctly and keeps data accurate. Business units are a delivered organization type that represent large, relatively stable parts of the company, such as regions, lines of business, or legal entities. A key advantage is speed. Workday delivers business units so you can use them immediately for basic financial tagging without designing a new custom organization type. Organizations use business units for high-level reporting, planning, and performance analysis. They can also use them as a helpful filter in many reports. Unlike custom organizations, business units often play a more limited role in transactional work tag usage. They offer fewer configuration options, capture less detailed history, and support fewer advanced needs such as specialized roles, routing, and complex security. Custom work tags are labels you define to classify transactions, such as expenses, journals, or payroll. You can enable a limited number at a time. They don't have members, roles, or their own business processes. You control them with work tag rules and standard Workday security, then apply them to transactions. A custom organization is a flexible grouping you use when standard Workday structures, such as supervisory, company, cost center, region, or business unit, don't reflect how work actually happens. Custom organizations have members, such as workers and positions. You can arrange them in hierarchies and assign roles. These configurations define who tasks route to and which data workers can access in reports and on worker profiles. In short, you use business units to describe the company, custom work tags to categorize transactions, and custom organizations to group and manage people or work. You interact with custom organizations by viewing them in reports and worker profiles, using them as filters or columns, and defining workers' role responsibilities. Common examples include special projects that cut across departments, temporary programs or initiatives, unique worker groups that you want to identify, support, and report on, like veterans, and define populations that require different approvals, reviews, or compensation rules, for example, groups that support targeted bonuses, audits, or compliance reviews. Depending on your permissions, you can search for a custom organization by name using the search box. From the organization page, you can view organization information, members, and key roles. You can also navigate from a worker's profile and select the Job tab, then Organization to view which custom organizations the worker belongs to. Let's explore an example. In this demonstration, I'm signed in as Daryl Parker, the Global Community Liaison for the Veterans Custom Organization. Daryl needs to understand this custom structure. To accomplish this task, Daryl will navigate to the custom organization, locate team members, identify role assignments for business process routing, and review security. To begin, I'll use a search prefix to navigate to the Veterans Custom Organization. From the Veterans Organization page, I'll review details including the superior organization and the organization type, which defines the organization's purpose. On the Members tab, I'll locate the workers who belong to this organization. Custom organizations group workers for a specific purpose outside the formal reporting structure. Depending on configuration, membership can determine business process routing, reporting, or security within this group. Next, I'll select the Details tab to view the core attributes, such as the organization code, hierarchy details, and visibility. Since this organization rolls up to a superior organization, work tags are unavailable. On the Veterans Organization's Roles tab, I can view each user's responsibilities. These role assignments allow them to perform actions and view certain data. Role assignees receive specific permissions over the organization and its members. It's important to know who's responsible for these actions, as role assignments direct business process routing, like approvals. Lastly, the Security Groups tab helps you understand and troubleshoot security. It displays which security groups can access the veterans organization. When administrators assign a role, that assignment automatically adds the member to a role-based security group, granting access to transactional data. In this instance, configuration constrains my access, so I can only view data, run reports, and approve business processes for members of this specific organization. Together, roles and organizational assignments drive automated workflow routing and define overall responsibilities in the organization. By understanding the key components of the veteran's custom organization, I can ensure that every transaction is accurate, maintains data integrity, and enables smooth business transactions. In some cases, you'll use a custom organization as a work tag to categorize transactions. Transactions that belong to a group, such as a special project, can automatically carry that group's name as a work tag. You can then filter reports by spend, headcount, or activity for that group. On the Maintain Organization Types report, administrators can select the use as a financial work tag and use as HR work tag checkboxes at the organization type level. After you enable these options, organizations of that type function as work tags, and Workday displays a related work tags grid on the organization page. For example, when you submit an expense, you might tag it with your cost center and custom organization project, like the Project Phoenix Custom Organization, to keep financial and operational data accurate. Custom organization work tags guide users, automates data entry, and enforces business rules so you can categorize transactional data accurately. Test tagging on sample transactions to confirm that the work tag populates, routes correctly, and displays accurately in reports. Review any guidance that explains when to use the work tag, including naming conventions and required approvals. Enabling a custom organization as a work tag can add constraints based on its hierarchies, security, or financial work tag rules. Work with your Workday administrators to confirm limitations and update security or reporting before tagging. Business users enter much of the data that drives reporting, approvals, and analysis, so selecting the correct custom organization, business unit, or work tag is critical. When you understand how to view custom organizations and how roles drive access, you can focus on the workers, projects, and programs you support without worrying about the underlying configuration.